Hey everyone, it's Patrick again here at Tale of Two Gardens on day 6 of our winter gardening challenge. We're back in the home garden today, and we'll be continuing some weeding and going to be trying some different methods. So why don't we go ahead and dive on in? So, again, we worked on two 2-foot beds yesterday. Found some onions along the way. Went ahead and since we haven't gotten any rain in the last few days, everything's fairly dry for the most part. So working a hoe to get the weeds out is actually the best option for me. I'm debating on whether or not to keep the onions. Why don't you let us know in the comment feature whether I should keep them in, let them grow, or whether I should just go ahead and pull them. Let me know. Otherwise, there are 2 different kinds of weeds that you really got to deal with in a garden. You have weeds that are root bound, that they spread because of their root or rhizome, and then you have weeds that spread by seed. Now the seed ones, for the most part, if you keep on it, and they're not extremely hard to pull, eventually you'll get to where they're in a manageable level. Root bound, on the other hand, you have to get every piece of the root or it will always come back. Unfortunately, we have a root bound weed in our beds. It came originally from at the top there where the grass meets. There was a torpedo grass that came across and then found its way to root up. So I know that I will be pulling this weed for eternity. What helps is if I have everything topped up really high, and I do keep on it, so it actually doesn't ever get into the beds. I'm only having to pull the weed on the walking paths. Again, I've tried everything I can think of, short of using any kind of chemicals or pesticides, because again, I don't want that in my food. So instead, I'm just kind of working the old path. So again, we finished the 2 beds. I'm going to go back to them, of course, but only until we decide what we're going to do in them this year. Otherwise, I'm working on our 4-foot bed. So we have a 4-foot by 4-foot that has 2 2-foot squares in it to kind of give it a checkered situation. And it's a pretty good bed. We normally do lettuce, arugula, spinach in that bed. And it does really well, because also we can just scatter shot it with seed. It'll grow really nice and thick, and then we'll be able to just go ahead and work through it. So it's really helpful in that way. And unfortunately, again, we let everything go last year. Or I'm pulling every weed you can think of, and slowly getting it away. However, because it was so woven together, I could kind of roll it. So basically what I did was I worked from the back end and worked my way towards the house, towards the wheelbarrow. So got everything cleaned out. So the 4-foot bed is mostly clean. Again, I'll hit it again when weeds start to grow up again, and I'll clean off the paths and everything. But for the most part, that was today's gardening. Day 6 in the home garden series. Tomorrow we'll be back in the community garden where we'll be adding some walking paths. So if you want to join us then, feel free on day 7. Otherwise, happy gardening. Have a good one.